I'm sitting down with the lovely Karen Civil. We're in Denver at the Summit Music Conference.
Hi.
How you feeling tonight?
I'm good, I'm good, I'm good.
Good. So let's just get right started. This was a powerful panel. So being a blogger is like getting to be so popular, you know, almost as popular as becoming a rapper. How did you transform your career past the blogosphere and become a real power player in the industry?
Well, early on, I knew I wanted to have some sort of segue into the music entertainment space, and my site was where I first started. I knew that wasn't going to be my end all be all. A lot of people come in and they go, well, I'm just going to have a site and that's pretty much it. I knew as time continued on, there'd be new avenues, new way to make money, and to make myself a media darling, kind of, where I'm able to be on all different types of platforms in the entertainment space. So I started with my website, which was named after me, which is KarenCivil.com.
Make sure you check it out.
From there, I was able to, you know, showcase new talent who I thought was great, who probably weren't getting covered yet by the XXLs and the sources and the things like that. So I put them on my platform, did my interviews, and I was just having fun. I was just a girl who was in love with hip hop, and I just thought it'd be great to showcase all this talent on my platform. So I did that for a few years, and still am. But you know, probably 3 years in, I decided, you know, digital media strategy is what I love, and I want to have a company doing that. There are all these artists who come to me for advice, and it's great to give away advice, but I need to be paid for it, and it's a business. So I turned my ideas and strategy and thinking into a business, and one of the first people to work with was Lil Wayne when he was incarcerated. And now the client roster has gone from, you know, Mark Echo, Mary J. Blige, Beats by Dre, Pusha T, Young Jeezy. So I'm really excited because it's basically helping them, you know, continue to grow their social footprint, turn their likes into fans, turn their fans into loyalists, turn their loyalists into buyers. So yeah, so then doing that, and then still in the process of still continuing with my business and having my website. I have a great team who continues to help push that forward, because at the end of the day, when I started, I wanted to make sure that new artists and great talent got a place to have their stuff showcased and to be that bridge between artist and fan. You know, kind of the way we used to have fan clubs, we don't really have those anymore. So giving you behind the scenes pictures, telling you what the artist is saying and things like that.
So and that was your first start, right? Is doing the fan club type of thing. Yeah.
So it's still continuing to keep that, and then now more than anything, I'm on my whole Live Civil, initiative, which is a whole other platform I started. It started with my website, which kind of keeps people up to date on what I'm doing and just other things in my life. I live a very positive life. You know, I've had a lot of outcomes, a lot of shortcomings and certain things that have happened, but I continue to be in this positive space, and that's what I want to push out to people who's coming up after me, who wants to be in a certain industry or have a certain job, and you know, they may not feel like they have a voice or understanding, and here I am, a girl from Elizabeth, New Jersey, living her dreams.
You touched on a little bit, and you and Vanessa talked a little bit about it on the panel. Being a woman and just the nature and politics of the industry, how did you surpass those obstacles and get that respect from the execs, the artists, the managers, and really be taken seriously as a businesswoman?
I mean, that's one of the things that I kind of put in the back of my mind, is getting respect from people. At the end of the day, I can't worry about what people's perception and their thoughts are of me. It's what I portray, what I put out there, and I know I work hard. I'm going to let my work speak for itself. And at the end of the day, you cannot not acknowledge what I'm doing for this culture and how I'm an architect to a lot of things, and I have my hands in a lot of things. So whether you don't like me in this space, you're going to have to respect me in that space. Whether you want to admit it or not, that's not something that keeps me warm at night. I frankly don't care.
Yeah.
So so it's just it's honestly, I've become in a space where I'm content with who I am, the business I continue to grow, and I just worry about, you know, the people who are coming up after me, who look at me as an example. That's the only people I'm worried about. I'm not worried about the naysayers, the people who don't like me, the people who may not understand what I'm doing, the people who think they don't get it or whatever the case may be. You know, my grind speaks for itself. You can't deny it.
Definitely, and that's the one thing that really draws me to you is your hustle. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have this whole civil brand, but you're still about your business.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Which is important. We all trying to eat.
Yeah.
So, did you always have this kind of keen sense of what artists need to do in order to be successful?
I necessarily didn't have a keen sense, but it's about evaluating each artist in each situation and seeing what could be missing. A large thing of what I do is digital footprints and platforms. You know, a lot of artists aren't good on social media.
Right.
That's okay. They're rappers. You know, they need to bring someone else to handle this because it's so many different platforms and stuff. So I let them know how to grow it, how to be engaging, what they should be doing, what they should be pushing out, what they should probably be doing offline that will connect online. So it's a lot about different strategies and stuff like that. And each artist or company I work with is very different. And I just see, you know, it's kind of like a best practices and maybe a hit or a miss. If it's a hit, I continue to make sure I do things in that way to continue to leverage positive results for them.
I think I saw you refer to yourself as like a hip-hop blossom or something. Like, you just have so many hats.
I call it the entertainment blossom because I don't want to put myself in the hip-hop space anymore, but it's just, I wear so many different hats because people are like, what is it that you do? I'm like, I live in my purpose. That's pretty much it.
Okay. So you talked about you've always been a hip-hop fan. Who did you grow up listening to?
Growing up listening to, I guess you can say that I loved Criss Cross.
Okay.
To start it off, I was an avid Criss Cross fan, and then switched over eventually. Was Tupac. I just loved everything that Tupac embodied because he can have the gangster rap, he can have uplifting music. It was just so different. He had something for everybody, and the fact that I could listen to when he came on the radio, Dear Mama came on the radio, I can listen to that song with my mom.
Right.
So that was something I felt like I had a connection with her with music, and Tupac gave me that.
That's amazing. So, I don't know if you have one, but who was your favorite interviewee, or most memorable, or one that changed your career?
Favorite interviewee?
I know you've interviewed everybody, so it's hard.
I mean, I pretty much loved everybody. Oh, you know what? Shaka Khan was great. Wow. I got to interview Shaka Khan at Essence Fest for McDonald's. She was absolutely incredible. She just finished getting her award. Her feet were hurting. She was tired. And then she walked by me, even though they told her she had to do an interview. She walked by me. She was like, "Baby, I'm coming," and walked back and talked to me about her award and how excited she was. So it was great.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I didn't know that you were for sure.
Yeah, it's so dope.
I've read that, you know, you say you're kind of like antisocial, but very social on social media. So how does that balance work well in the industry?
I'm a very antisocial person. I like to be home. I'm a wallflower. I'm okay with that because on a social front, I get to communicate with people, but for my own personal space, where I'm in my pajamas, I can be at home, I can say what I need to. I'm connected with all these people, but I feel comfortable. Put me in a room with a whole bunch of people, I may start hyperventilating. I have to like build the courage to go out sometimes. It's really weird because people are like, "Man, you're like a social butterfly." I'm like, you would think from my pictures, but no, I usually like to be home, me and my dog. I like to read, hang out with my niece and nephew, and I'm really just pretty much a homebody. But I'm okay with that. We used to call it weird, but growing up, people called you weird and different, but now we call it unique.
Yeah.
Pharrell.
Yeah. So was there any like nerves with doing something like this, or where you have to speak in front of a lot of people?
No, it's something I want to get used to because I'm starting my whole Live Civil panel soon. So it's something I want to get used to because now I know I have a voice, and I want to make sure that I'm using it to help benefit this culture and the cause, and giving people advice and reassuring, because it's those little things that people didn't give me that I would love to give back to people. So I just feel like it's only right that I do things like this. Whether I'm nervous or not, I still have to do it. Yeah,
well, you have a lot of inspiration to give people.
Yeah.
Like, even one of the guys asked questions, he's like, "I'm here because Carrie Civil's here." Which is pretty cool. So, are you still working on your book?
Yeah.
What's going on with that?
Well, now it was supposed to come out in November, but they need a whole full year since from turning it in. It's going to come out next year. And it's all about living in your purpose, how I grew up. It's not bashing anyone. It's not talking about anyone I worked with, but it's just talking about me, how I came into this industry, how I continue to maneuver, how my good days, my bad days, and how I made it work for me. Because there are a lot of things that, internal issues that everyone deals with work. We go home, we make, you know, we give up very easily, and it's you know, I just say this is this little book here to help you to continue going, to know this person did it. You know, I'm a girl from Elizabeth, New Jersey who continues every day is a constant struggle to continue being yourself in a world where it's made for you to be someone else. Because it's strange, I tell people this, people want to support you and be there for you. They want you to be everything but yourself. And this book is about being yourself and being comfortable. Don't idolize me, don't put me on a pedestal, because I'm still growing and understanding, like, living in your purpose and living your dreams and making it happen for you. Whether you make money off of it, whether you don't, living to your terms and your satisfaction.
So last question. If MTV brought back TRL, would you be a VJ?
If MTV brought back TRL, I may be, because I remember the days I used to go up there, and I was in love with the Backstreet Boys. I actually didn't go up there, I was outside, because I could never get up. It would never be the girl pit. But yeah, I definitely, I love TRL. It's something I grew up on, and it was a staple, especially with Carson Daly. He's someone that I respect to this day, because he was like the perfect interview person. Because I remember his episode with Juvenile. He put the braids and had the gold teeth in his mouth. Then he put the gold teeth in his mouth and had all the jewelry and was just talking like a hot boy. Then the next week, NSYNC comes up, he got the little braids with the cornrows in his hair, and he looks like the 6th member. So I just like the way his chameleon style interview, where it's just he was so comfortable, and his range of just interviewing people was incredible. So yeah,
that's a great way to describe it.
Yeah.
So last thing, just give a shout out.
Hey, what's up? This is Karen Civil of KarenCivil.com, of course, hanging with my girl Rachel Leah with ComeHomeWithMe.com.